Hi, and welcome to the Canceled News. It was a big week for me. I won my 10th Daytime Emmy Award. Obviously, it's not for this show, it's for writing for the Ellen DeGeneres show. But, now when people try to criticize the jokes on this show, I have more physical proof that I am funnier than comedy giants like Kelly Clarkson, Marie Osmond, and Michael Strahan. And I mean, Michael Strahan is like the funniest black host on television now that Jimmy Kimmel's taking time off. I'll just put this here. What is that? Oh my god, somebody left a noose on my set. I'll investigate that later. Anyway, here's what's in the news. During his first campaign rally in Tulsa, Donald Trump repeatedly referred to the coronavirus as the Kung Flu. To condemn this racist term and show their solidarity with the Chinese, Democrats kneeled on the House floor with bamboo hats and nunchucks. Despite claiming over 1 million tickets had been reserved, only 6,000 people showed up to Trump's rally. Or to put it in Trump's terms, it was the most average crowd ever. No one ever thought crowds could be this average. Not even Barack Obama had crowds this average. Despite efforts by the Trump administration to stop its release, former National Security Advisor John Bolton's book, The Room Where It Happened, which is very critical of President Trump, came out this week. Now look, President Trump should have known all along that John Bolton was going to betray him like this. He's literally been wearing one of those ridiculous glasses and mustache disguises the entire time. In an interview about his book, John Bolton said that he fears for the Republic if Donald Trump is reelected, in which case he'll have to return home to his family in the Arctic Circle. Joel Schumacher, who directed the Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batman movies, passed away this week at the age of 80. He, of course, spent the rest of his career trying not to be remembered as the guy who directed the Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batman movies. He'll be buried in a casket with sexy latex nipples. The FDA is warning that hand sanitizers produced by a Mexican company contain methanol and could be toxic if absorbed through the skin. Thankfully, American teenagers are just drinking it. An ancient stone circle over 1 mile in diameter has been discovered near Stonehenge. Scientists say it was created by a Neolithic culture, while the History Channel is working on a 40-hour documentary claiming it was aliens. Due to the pandemic, Saudi Arabia is limiting the number of people who can make the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca this year, and they all have to stand 72 virgins apart. And they have to wear face masks on their face masks. A sex club in New York has reopened and is hosting socially distanced orgies, so you may actually be safer at a New York sex club than you are at a Florida Fuddruckers. I don't even know how a socially distanced orgy would work. Like, the only man who could have sex from 6 feet away died years ago. 4 episodes of 30 Rock have been removed from the internet because they feature characters wearing blackface. In a related story, 4 seasons of Grace and Frankie have been removed from the internet because they suck. But this 30 Rock story is crazy. I mean, just to be clear, here's a group photo of all the celebrities that blame Donald Trump for racism. Protesters in Washington, D.C. attempted to establish an autonomous zone like the one in Seattle called the Black House Autonomous Zone. It's all part of their master plan to lower the White House's property value. Meanwhile, the autonomous zone in Seattle is being shut down, so the protesters have to return home to their autonomous zone in their parents' basement. The Barcelona Opera House reopened this week with a quartet of musicians playing a concert for 2,300 trees placed in the seats, which is still a better turnout than Trump's Tulsa rally. The concert was going well until one little shrub realized the violinist was playing music on his mother's dead carcass. An upcoming series called Kraka will feature black people as slave owners and white people as slaves. The only upside is all the white characters have giant penises. It will air on Nick Jr. in between Peppa Pig and Blue's Clues. Earlier this week, a plane flew over the NASCAR racetrack in Talladega, towing a giant Confederate flag with a message that said "Defund NASCAR." They later clarified that they don't want to abolish NASCAR, they just want it to reallocate resources and hire mental health professionals. Due to concerns over racial sensitivity, a statue of Theodore Roosevelt with a black man and a Native American will be removed from the entrance of New York's Natural History Museum, which is a big problem because this is also the entire plot of the new Bill and Ted reboot. And in Boston, they're considering removing a statue of Abraham Lincoln with a liberated slave that was paid for by freed slaves because some people say it's racist. This is insane. They're literally tearing down the only thing in Boston that's not racist. But they've been tearing down statues everywhere. They've now torn down statues of Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, Ulysses S. Grant, who defeated the Confederacy, and they've called to remove statues of Winston Churchill and Gandhi. It's like all statues are racist now. Every statue is racist. This statue is probably racist because it's honored racists like Jimmy Kimmel and the stars of 30 Rock. Now I only have 9 of those left.